We got a second question, Coach. This comes from Audrey Pear, or Perry. Excuse me if I mispronounce it, but she says, "What are your daily habits? What does your day look like?"
Oh my goodness, my daily habits. So I design my daily habits and activities to the minute and to the hour. So let's just go to June 1st, which is today. You could see right here, it'll have down what I'm doing with the kids. And I really design that. I have another book that has all the possibilities for the day, but I really do design what it is that I'm going on according to my MITs. What are my most important tasks? As you see on there, I mean, I have a huddle session. I put down when the kids are. My kids had a Zoom call at 10 o'clock. I have daily postings in the morning. I have staff meetings with everyone who is on this call right now. So really my daily habits and activities are based on my long-term and short-term goals. I put down and plot that down on a calendar, which is the compass for my success. And then I reverse engineer it in terms of a master calendar, which is a grease board that I have here. And it goes into detail every single morning. I wake up in the morning and not only do I look to see what it is that's on the docket for the day, but I prepare mentally. Okay, at 12 o'clock, I have a huddle. Are my slides set? Do I know what my slides say? Am I ready for that call? What poems am I doing? What's going to be memorized? And have I already gotten with the crew in terms of the operations that were set for that call? So when you do that mentally, you increase the probability, never guarantee, that you can maximize everything on your calendar, from a 30-minute meal to a gratitude session with my kids this morning at 9:15 a.m. So I really do design it and put it down. But the daily habits are now defined, and my activities and my most important tasks are now defined by my long-term and short-term goals, and then reverse engineered to give myself every possibility to hitting and achieving on those goals. Great question, and thank you so much, Audrey.
Thanks, Audrey. Coach, I don't know if you realize this. This is an international Coach V Huddle. Audrey
We
is
got
checking.
New Zealand. We got
Yeah,
New Zealand in the
she's
house.
checking in from Aotearoa. So thank you very much. We got three more questions. I'm gonna go through these fairly quick. Harry Morn asks, Coach V, some people
Utah. Harry, you in the house?
Some people are completely defined by their net worth. You discuss how money isn't everything. What process have you found to be a great method of defining yourself, your identity, your purpose? Great question.
Yeah, that's a great question. In terms of, so there's ascription by society to us, and then there's self-definition from us to now we portray that, and we gravitationally pull in what we define ourselves as. There are many different things, Harry. You're my boy. I mean, you're a higher level thinker for it, like more people than I've ever met. And you approach things in an amazing way. I mean, definition is partly perception by what society and how we engage with that perception and identity. But if it is wrong, you must define it as such. And the one definition that we can't miss on in terms of defining ourselves, because partly it is our relationships. But I will always go, and you know this being around me, especially us being down at the event down in San Diego back in February or March it was, in which case, I mean, it's all about you, but then it's also, there's money in the transaction, but the wealth is in the relationships. So we will be defined, and our net worth will be defined by our network. As you see here, the champions that have helped me build this platform is nothing but champions. So the value is not only going to be, we could chase that value because of my network and my relationships, but also the success it is that we want because of the value of the people involved will now chase and also define us. Thank you so much, Brother Harry, for joining.
I love it. Just in the interest of time, maybe we go through one more question.
Yes,
Kiele from Orange County asks, how often should you reevaluate your goals?
So there's a couple of different ways to do that. And what I tell my clients is at least quarterly. I mean, but then from a sports perspective, which I came from, there is a constant, ongoing, never-ending engagement and negotiation of the who, what, where, when, how, and why of our goals, of our success. I mean, it's not a stagnant thing. It moves, and just like I was going to make at least 13 grand in speaking alone in April, That changed because of one virus, and I lost all of that. So you pivot and change in the sports realm is what I use, brother. So thank you so much for chiming in from Orange County. And for that question is that we are always reviewing, refining, and regenerating the good of our daily lives and our big time goals all the time. That touch and that engagement, that time, affection, and attention given to your goals is the romance that makes everything possible and then inevitable in terms of your dreams, goals, hopes, and aspirations. Thank you so much for the question. Last one more. We got time for one.
We got time for one more, Coach. Let's squeeze this one in. This is a Jeannie from Long Beach asked, how do you create a goal with a significant or other that perhaps has different life goals?
No, that's really good. I mean, because if you don't know struggle, be single. But if you don't know real struggle, be with a significant other or get married. That's one of the reasons why being married is so tough and having a significant other, because of the constant, ongoing, never-ending, effective communication to get on the same page. I mean, for one person, it's hard to make a decision. You take two people that are supposed to be, one under God when we get married. Are you kidding me? There's no such thing. We still think differently. We're two different people. And because of selfishness within the humanity of what is in our DNA, it's very hard. But my wife and I, we just constantly are talking. And I know that it's not about me in terms of my attitude and what's best for us. So if I'm adamant about it, I will make that clear to her that this is what I think. One example clear for our family, if you ask us, is pets. Like my wife and my kids, they want pets and they're adamant. And I'm adamant that we don't have time for that. We are barely trying to make it from one event to an event in terms of community events and flying all over the country to speak. And then my wife is a professional. She works 4 days a week at a hospital as a nurse. Then the kids events, so then we just talk it out. But the number one love language, I think, is compromise. So if you really love a person and you care about them so much to give up what it is that you think is best for you or you think is best for both of you, and you can reach that compromise. Compromise is a huge word for life, leadership, and business. And those people and communities that can do that, they usually thrive. Thank you so much for the question.
Coach, that's the final question that we have for today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I know that we have, once again, I just want to reiterate the value, the opportunity that you folks have with the Village. Once again, that is normally $49.99. It is going to be $24.99 plus transaction fee. That goes down Friday, June 19th. Then every third Friday of the month. The VIP, once again, normally $139.99. We are giving a discounted rate at $99.99, and that begins on June 26th, then every fourth Friday of the month. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. As your host, Q from Island Block Radio, don't forget to tune in to Coach B's show every Monday, the Mono Motivation Monday, Island Block Radio at 7 p.m. Coach?
Oh, yeah. Mono Motivation Monday tonight on Island Block Radio, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time out of Hollywood, California. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in to this Coach V Huddle. We wish, as a team, the V team that composes my team, I mean, you see these amazing videos, the amazing programming and production that also comes with my partnership and my family, the Island Block Media team. We thank you so much for tuning in. And lastly, here is the challenge from this call, in which I've seen and also experienced being a champion myself as a sports coach and now becoming one of the most sought after speakers and success coaches on the planet, is this. Write down this: the master in the art of living. You want success? Here it is in this short poem, in terms of you considering, because Coach V doesn't want to tell you what to do or how to be, how to live. It's just that I stir your heart, mind, and soul so that you can figure it out what it is that you should do in your life, leadership, and business. So the master in the art of living makes little distinction between their work and their play, their labor and their leisure, their information and their recreation, their love and their religion. They don't distinguish which is which. They simply pursue a level of excellence in all it is that they do. and they let other people's describe whether it is that if they are working or if they are playing. But for you, me, and we are always doing both. Again, on behalf of the entire V team that makes up my team, along with our partnership and our family with Island Block Media, we thank you for so much for joining us on this success call, because success is calling. Join me on my village and my very integral people calls, as well as our free sessions we offer, because we care about people and we want people to be successful. Join us, because success is calling. Answer that call on the Coach B Huddle. Until next time, work to be your best and live your best life. Peace.
Right now, we got a shot at anything. You could be a kid like I was at 4 years old, not knowing how to speak English, to getting to where I'm 42 years old right now, and I speak a language that is not mine for anywhere between $200 and $300 a minute. Is that nuts? That I stood in a free lunch line in Pomona, California. I could never afford lunch from kindergarten to high school. That I stood in that line and said that I may never change my situation, but by God, my child will never stand in a free lunch line, ever. That's the relationship it is that I had with kids that I didn't even have yet. All I got for bandwidth is to become the biggest billionaire that I can be and impact the world so that they can become what they want to be. That's what I got time for. And the only thing that I would make room for at any time, 24-hour, 365, is my God, my wife, and my kids. So what is that for you? A champion, not just the winner, but what it is that you want to champion in terms of your calling. For me, on my nonprofit side, that's youth. The 3,900 plus kids that have come through our doors over the last 3 years never paid a dime, because I was that kid.
And people that own a business, that are billionaires and millionaires that I work with now, they understand this concept that is not about me.
If you're trying, you'll learn the lesson, whether you win, fail, succeed, be embarrassed, or degress, regress, or progress. It will happen. It's a win. That's why I call it 125 wins and 18 lessons in 11 years. Billy, I'm at the folk out, call me Coach V.